Hi, I'm Elaine Cooper, your Better Living Coach, and tonight is kind of a bonus. I was asked to do another. Last week I had done 4 videos called Cooking Amidst Chaos, and I had a request to do another. So those 4 videos will be up for the rest of the week. And this one, I'm actually not cooking in my kitchen. So hoping you are seeing this, and if it's for the first time, then when I get finished here, why don't you just go back and have a look at those videos and see what was going on. So I apologize. I do have notes here, so I will be looking down at them. The brain is on fibro alert tonight, so I'm going to be referring to my notes and not just trying to wing it to give you some real good content and some quality. Listen, I have fibromyalgia. Biggest difference is fibromyalgia does not have me. I often refer to it as the beast that lives with me. And I like to keep it on a long leash so that it doesn't flare up. But there's not always days that I can control that, especially because of the weather. Not everybody has the same symptoms with fibromyalgia. They're varied, and I'm not going to get into all of the detail about what that is all about with me. But there was a time in my life, and about 20 years ago, when I couldn't even get out of bed. There would be days that I would just tell my business partner and husband that I wouldn't be going in. We had a retail store at that time. And lucky enough, I had someone in my life that understood that. I struggled with fatigue and exhaustion and really not knowing what it was for a very long time. It took about 5 years to get a diagnosis. Well, you probably have fibromyalgia. So I was stoked. I was like, finally, the things that I had been going through, there were no explanations. I'd had the blood tests. I'd had all of the urine tests. I'd had all of the x-rays and the MRIs in the process of eliminating what it might have been. And 20 years ago, it was still very recent. And there's a lot more research and studies, and I was actually part of a McGill study in Montreal. And everything that they found on that study was very much, I don't tolerate the cold very well. I can tolerate the heat a lot better. So putting that aside, I look back and I remember how I couldn't even function to do the things that I really loved in my life. Raising my family. And I've always had a background of growing things. I also had a career. I've been an entrepreneur since I was in my young adult years, and that was on 200 acres, and we were self-sufficient in the 70s. So yes, I am a grandma, and I am so proud of that. I'm proud of that because at the age I am, I have memories of one of my own grandmothers stricken, paralyzed, in bed after suffering strokes. And that was the summer that I turned 12, or the spring I turned 12. And I spent the whole summer looking after her. I felt so privileged. I felt loved. I felt needed. And I got some special memories, which you'll find out in one of the videos if you go back and have a look at it. So I have chosen to revive and not merely survive the messes that have been in my life. Has it been easy? Hell no. Not easy, not in a nanosecond. Every day I was asking what the heck was the matter with me. I had allergies, I had hypoglycemia, and then the diagnosis of fibromyalgia. And all the while, if you knew me back then, you're thinking, really? Really? I also would have at least 4 times a year, I would have debilitating infections that I'd be going on antibiotics because my body was just beaten up and what I found out was a lot of the things that I was eating were not the things that were good for my body. And as I've gotten older, oh man, did I say that word? Seasoned, yes, on that saucy, sometimes sassy, and seasoned midlifer. So, you know, we don't want to think about being old. But at one point in my life, what I was envisioning was sitting in that wheelchair like my grandmother had. Arthritis is in the family, and fibromyalgia is apparently a cousin, a buttonhole cousin of arthritis, only affecting the connective tissue to the muscles, causing muscle spasms and pain. So when you're wondering what you're dying of, and I did, I literally wondered what I was dying from. And as I said a minute ago, if you'd known me back then, you would never have known it, because it's one of those invisible conditions that you look great, you look great, you look great, but you feel like crap inside. I was dealing with grief, the grief of the loss of my first spouse at 29, and the prospect of looking after my 3 little daughters was absolutely overwhelming. But I had been brought up with good family values, and those family values kicked in, and that was one of the things that helped me get through that time. There was actually a time in my life where I didn't know what my purpose was in life. I wanted to give out to the community. We were always active doing something in the community. It was usually around food. I was about 12 years old. Oh, I probably was younger than that. But my recollection is about 12 years old and doing some cooking. I obviously was old enough to look after my grandmother, a beloved grandmother, because I absolutely loved being around my grandparents on their farms. Both sides of the family were agricultural. They were farmers, and they produced crops. There was fresh milk. My paternal grandmother in her garden with her prize-winning flowers that she would take to the agricultural fair every year. I spoke about that in some of the other videos as well. Those are the memories that I hold really dear. Every year, as I became more seasoned, a little bit more seasoning on me, instead of making a resolution at the first of the year, I would make an intention. My intention would be to research to see what I could do to improve my health, to keep me going as in good shape as I could possibly be. And today, I know why. Today, my intention and my reasoning is so that my grandkids do not have the same memories of watching a grandparent, and we're close, just dissolve into a health mess. And that happened on both sides of the family, not just one side of the family, the left and the right, mom and dad's family. So my intention to be here tonight and to have done those videos last week was to give you hope. Oh, that's such a little word, but it's such a huge word. There's such huge meaning packed into that little word. And that was my word of the year last year. The biggest change came to my health is when I went to study for my certification as an integrative nutrition health coach. Now, nutrition is an ever-evolving science. And do I know everything? No. And I will not tell you, I will not get up on a soapbox and say, you have to do this and you have to do that. I will work with you to support you to make practical changes to your lifestyle. Now, we're all busy. In this day and age, we're all busy. I don't care if you're a millennial with kids in that middle bracket, and I'm not sure what the heck they call them. That's my family with kids. Or you're saucy and seasoned at my age and you want to stay busy. And how do you do that? I don't want to be cooking all the time. What I have done is I have taken my experience over the years and I have put together a program. Now that program starts this week, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my cart open so that you can join. I don't want to miss you. If you want to make some changes in your eating and lifestyle, then this is the place to be. There is lots more information about it, and that will be posted in the link just below. So when you have a chance, after I've finished, because I'm going to give you a couple of really simple things, some knowledge, some deeper knowledge, to give you an idea of what the program is about. It's 10 weeks. It starts this week and it goes for another 10. You will get me live once a week and I will be going over the modules because you'll have 10 modules. Each one of those modules you can do at your leisure. Now, if you can't get on a live feed, it will be recorded. All the trainings will be recorded. You'll have access to all my videos and you'll be able to clean up your diet, make adjustments to your lifestyle without feeling overwhelmed, because you can go back. You can put me on replay. You can stop me in mid-sentence with my mouth wide open. Ooh, that's kind of a scary thing. But I will be actually doing recipes. I'm going to be right in there doing the program with you. The first 21 days are a detox. And if you haven't seen results by 30 days, even after you've done all of the work, the 21-day detox with me, I want you to feel good about letting me know. Because if it hasn't been valuable for you, I don't want you to waste your time to stick in there and stick in for the next 9 weeks. 10 minus 4, yeah, the next 6 weeks after that. I will refund your money. My colleagues go, really? That's a lot of work to refund money. Yeah, you're right, but I want you to get results. Now, you don't have to be at the or else stage like I was. And the or else stage that I was at was that my body was screaming at me. And I was wondering what I was dying from. And I don't take that lightly, and I don't say it lightly. Please. It is the truth. One of the things that I worried about, hey, got to worry about something, right? When I questioned going online, because I'd worked with clients one-on-one before, was that how are people going to know if you're authentic or not? I love being able to go live here with you because I can tell you all sorts of things, but until you experience it yourself, that's why I have the guarantee there. If you're not happy after 30 days, you're going to have done the detox for nothing. You're going to have gotten my support. But after only 21 days, I can 99.9%, if you follow what the suggestions are, you will see results. Results like more energy. Results like starting to lose weight if you have those extra pounds. I lost 30 pounds when I went through this program. I've been through it, but I have modified it down to 10 weeks so you can get a chance to see what it's like. Now, this week, one of the big phone guys, you know, the Alexander Graham, yeah, that one, has a campaign for mental health. When I was growing up, the comments were, well, if she'd just get out of bed, she'd feel better. Or, she's still in bed today. And she's got all those kids. Why the heck doesn't she just pull up her bootstraps and boogie on? Not everybody's able to do that. And mental health has been an issue, and still is, in my very own family. Can food really affect mental health? Now, I'm referring to some notes right out of the program. And Julia Ross was one of our lecturers when I was doing my training. And she's a pioneer in the field of nutritional psychology and the author, and if you want to take this down, I'll say it slowly, The Mood Cure and the Diet Cure. That's Julia Ross. She's trained and licensed in clinical psychology and founded and directed 6 outpatient programs for the treatment of addictions, eating disorders, and mood problems in the California area. She's worked with holistic nutritionists, physicians, and psychotherapists, and her work has been published in the Journal of Molecular Psychiatry, the American Psychological Association's journal, and several other peer reviews. So if you want more information about that, that's called The Mood Cure and the Diet Cure. This is just some of the things that are in this program because I want you to understand how what's affecting us. What is affecting you in your day-to-day living? Scientific evidence to back this up, the whole theory that food can definitely affect moods, mood swings. And there's a lot of challenges for scientists. Nutrition is an ever-changing science. But they have seen where fluctuations in blood sugar levels are associated with changes in mood and energy and really affected by what we eat. Brain chemicals influence the way we think, feel, and behave. Why do you think we're so readily prescribed antidepressants? It's absolutely mind-boggling. When I have done health history consultation sessions with clients, it floors me how many prescriptions are actually being put out there when there are other things that can be less invasive, and food is one of them. There are reactions that can be due to the deficiency of an enzyme just to digest things like a food like lactose. And that lactose is milk sugar. Low levels of vitamins, antioxidants, and even essential fatty acids all affect mental health. So that is just part of one of the modules that you'll be getting. I also have in there a way for you to understand where your cravings are coming from. If you crave chocolate, hey, I crave chocolate and I know I'm deficient in magnesium from tests. So the things that I need to put into my diet, which I do daily, are raw nuts and seeds, legumes, and fruits. Simple? You bet, but it's the understanding. I felt so empowered by this information. I am not a scientist. I'm not going to proclaim to be a scientist, but I am a sensitive. So believing what I had learned over the years, I was actually in a conversation with a member in my program today, and we're 3 of us sitting around, and a story came out. There's always a story or two. It's all kinds of fun. A story came out about the friend's physician who has come to the realization that what she learned was not necessarily the be-all and end-all. Like I said, nutrition is a ever-changing science. That's why we hear so often, this, you should do this, or you shouldn't do that. So do we get fired up? I did a talk last year called Sitting is Killing Us. It was a report coming out of CNN. Do we take that and get really freaked out? Or do we get the information we need to make an intelligent decision for ourselves? So the media, who do you follow? Who do you know to follow? Well, follow someone that you're comfortable with. Follow someone who is backed by the scientific community. And that's what I love about what I do. because I said I'm not the scientist, but I do have a community, a scientific community behind me that I can go to help better support you out there. Now, cooking is my specialty, and it need not be complicated. It takes a relatively small investment of your time to get used to cooking. Maybe you've been cooking for so long that you just don't want to bother anymore. So what are you eating? What kind of nutrient-dense foods are you putting into your body? Or are you? What is the basis for what you're eating? So we look at all of those things. I have a little thing on here. It's called burn your rice. Burn your water if you want to. We all do it. And it's okay. It does not have to be perfect. And it doesn't have to taste the same every darn time. Because the recipes it may be something that you have in the fridge, you just want to use up. You are going to save time and money learning how to use up the leftovers in the fridge, that you're not putting them into the compost weekly, or you're not throwing them out. I'm going to save you time, and I am going to save you money. You know, last year it was about sitting, and this year there was this big headline here not too long ago, about a month and a half ago, well, as we were ending up 2016, about sugar. The sugar and fat debate. Well, do we believe everything that's out there? Take it with a grain of salt? Get really crazy and make it dependent on having that organic, or you can't have this and you can't have that. Unless you have specific allergies where it's life-threatening, that may not be the best answer for you. So what I teach is how to go gluten-free, making it simple for you. And just because it's gluten-free does not mean it's healthy. So I'm going to take the hassle out of healthy. If you're lactose intolerant, my recipes do not contain dairy, and they're quick to do. They will contain eggs sometimes, because I'm not vegan, I'm not vegetarian. Yeah, I'm a hippie. I'm weird. I've been called a lot of names, and I love it because I'm just stacking it up on the side to use it when I do my talks. I'm a real foodist. I have been a green thumber for a lot of years. My tea, but I've been a green thumber for a lot of years. And in I think it's my second video, I talked about why sprouts. Well, these are the sprouts that I have seeded for my tower garden over there. I really needed to get some new seedlings on there. These little guys are the most nutrient-dense plants or foods on this planet. And within just a few days, I had mesclun salad greens, which is a nice mix, not an iceberg lettuce. There's things like, there's Asian lettuce in there, like bok choy. There's kale in here. There's arugula. And there's also some of the colored Bibb lettuce. Over here on this one with the stick is just kale. So I'm going to have these to prepare the aeroponic vertical towers for clients. I'm going to have them all ready. Now I have 7 trays of these guys. I have basil, which hasn't sprouted yet. That's usually a little longer. It'll be just a week tomorrow. I believe it was tomorrow or Wednesday when I did it. So my green thumbs are still very active. And it was one of the things I worried about, or I thought, okay, this is the end of my gardening when I went into a condo, because I downsized out of my home and into a condo. Well, I have a lovely balcony at the back, great neighbors all over, and I have geraniums, Christmas cactus, and so forth in the south-facing window. This spot was chosen for me with SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder. Yeah, I've got a list of stuff that I deal with Wintertime is the hardest time. It's the hardest time because the light is so infrequent. And I think we've had a week already with no sunshine. So dealing with those kind of things, I know that food is a huge benefit, especially when I can get the micronutrients. And you can do microgreens on that tower as well. So in the wintertime, inside, I grow herbs, lettuces, and any kinds of greens. I also have green beans on there, and they're just beginning to sprout today. I have them down there at the bottom at the tower. So with expertise in gardening, with conditions that I researched for years, with formal training, I can now support you. I can support you from the ground up. From the ground up, because it won't be just one thing that you'll want to work at, or one thing changing your diet and changing some of your lifestyle habits will affect. It will affect you from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. And one of the reasons why I use essential oils and use it on my feet, it's one of the most readily available source of getting herbs or herbal oils into our system. Now, when I talked about the sugar debacle, that was quite interesting because it has been 60, 60, back when I was just a sprout, since the sugar industry, which is ginormous, as the kids would say, squashed, buried, paid to have the reports that were coming out from the scientists, from the professionals, about the effects of sugar on our systems, on heart disease. And we've always associated sugars with diabetes. Who is the scapegoat? Oils, fat. How many years has it been that we have, and there was, what were we looking at today? There was something that we were looking at today, and it was all of the foods had the fat content in huge big letters because we have been so well trained to look at the fat content that we now know, and the reports have come out, that we're actually, especially women, lacking in the essential fats that our brain needs, that our body needs to maintain our energies and keep us warm in the minus 1000s like it is. Well, it's not minus 1,000 tonight, but it has been in the last few weeks. Those fats help us store energy, and to do that properly, how are we getting our fats? So I have a whole, see this? I have a whole module on the information that you could use for how to use it, which oils to select, the benefits, storage, and then some tips, and of course, recipes. Lots of recipes throughout. So each module ends up with some wonderful recipes that you can just integrate into your life very, very easily. You know what? It's a lot easier by starting to make changes slowly. That's why I have used these 10 weeks to get you integrated one step at a time. You're going to have my guidance. You're going to have my support every week. I am committed. My word of the year this year is initiative. So I'm taking the initiative to be there for you throughout. I've had a lot of questions come up about the program. So what I would like to do is I would like to answer some of those questions. If you just give me a second here, I'm going to scroll down to the questions that I've been asked. And that was one of the reasons that I wanted to make sure that I got on here tonight. Okie dokie. Let's make sure that I have the right one, because I've added those questions into my website, onto the Work With Me page, and it will answer if you don't catch all of them right now. Enrollment is open this week and next week. There are only 5 places left. So if you'd like to be one of the members, one of the learners in this program, to work side by side with me as we go through the program, then make sure that you click on the link. Hang on just a sec here. Microsoft is telling me some stuff here that, yeah, I know. Go away. Okay, now. Alrighty. I want you, the whole idea is I want you to picture yourself on a path of having more energy, maybe losing those extra pounds, more stamina to do the things that you want to do, like not being so tired at night when you come home from work, and bring wellness into your life so you can have fun with the kids after, so that you can go out and have fun, be social, go to networking. Hey, this is a crazy busy life, and if we don't have the energy to do it, we only have one life to live. You want to join me? Do you want to be saucy, sometimes sassy? Well, then jump in on the program. And this program is for you if you want to stretch your dollar, choosing and making cleaner food and lifestyle choices that are easy and affordable. You're caught up in the busyness of life but don't want to compromise yours or your family's health. Maybe you have somebody at home that has food sensitivities or intolerances, and you don't have the time or want to spend hours in the kitchen or researching the internet. I have done that already. I have a laid out program that you can do. You don't have to be working on it every day. But if you have an hour to go over the content, documentation, then you will, by the end of 10 weeks, and it may be as soon as 21 days after you've done the detox, you will see a difference. So here are the other questions that were asked. Okay, down at the end, let's scroll way down. Do I have to do everything on the day the module is given out? No, that's why I give it out in the middle of the week, so that you have the rest of the week and the weekend to prepare for your next week. So when I do my training call on Wednesdays at 4 o'clock Eastern, then you'll be able to use that information on the week's module. Who should sign up? Now, this program is really designed for busy entrepreneurs and business professionals. Why? Because how much faster, quicker, how much would I have not had to do or to figure out if I'd had me 20 years ago? But we didn't have health coaches then. And I've taken everything that I have researched and compacted and condensed it into, and it's basically about eating and lifestyle choices. Someone who has noticed a change in their health and know they need to finally look after themselves. Because as a widowed mom, the first time, man, I was looking after my family. I was looking after the grief that I felt from my parents, from my siblings, from my friends, but I wasn't necessarily taking care of myself. I fired my psychiatrist because he asked me what I wanted from him. Hello? He was the expert, and I got zero, zip, nothing. I had to dig deeper, and I did. And I'm going to use those things in this and give you way more content than you expect. The people that have noticed a significant change in their health, they're curious. They want to learn in-depth knowledge. I wanted to find out what was going on with me so I could do something about it. Now, this program was designed for busy individuals. That's easy to say. I supply you with the trainings and the modules, and you can adapt them to your lifestyle. Like I said earlier, the coaching calls will be recorded if you're unable to attend the live, and they will be up. You have access to those trainings for life. So anytime that I put new content into the program, you will get notified. We have a Facebook group, a private one, that you can come in at any time. And in the files and the docs, the videos, those will be there as well. So once you've worked with me, you get the advantage of having all of that there for you so you can keep going back to it. And this is creating a lifestyle, not dieting. You'll have access to the Facebook group even after the program is completed, like I mentioned. Is the course live? Part of it is. Coaching calls are, but they will be recorded. I had another question. Do we receive the modules all at one time, or are they released on a set schedule? They're actually released on a set schedule. That helps you integrate the information and stay away from overwhelm. You can always refer back to the modules that have already been released, but you cannot review modules before their release dates. I don't want you to be on overwhelm. Okay, so what is the format? It's all online, so it doesn't matter where you are. All modules are delivered to your inbox, as well as put into the Facebook private page. You have to like your Better Living Coach, my business page on Facebook. If you're in the program, then I will add you after that. You will get a welcome packet. And if you're busy at the time of the call, well, no worries. Again, they are recorded. You can have the option to put as much or as little time needed towards the program. Suggestions are maybe 1 to 2 hours a week. That's not a lot. Toward the homework and interacting in the Facebook group. Now, if you think you're going to come in here and get a quick fix, it's going to be a magic pill, don't even bother. Don't even bother listening any longer, because it's not. I'm not going to BS you. My BS thermometer is pretty darn sensitive. So believing everything I'm told, I have to find it out, some of it, for myself. But if you're willing and trust that some of these things are easy enough to do, remember the refund policy? You can go through the detox for free. If you go to my website, you're going to get it. You're going to have to pay for it. But in this program, you get the first 30 days, actually, from the beginning of the program, you get it free. And if you're not satisfied, tell me. And for this launch, I will be right there with you the whole time. Because before I can give it out to others to help me with that, and thank you, right arm. My right arm is on here today with me. I want to be able to see the results coming directly from you. Now, I didn't mention the price of the program. The program for the 10 weeks is $497. So that's really just $50 a week. We spend a whole lot more than $50 a week on stuff that's not necessarily good for us or not necessarily necessary. Thanks for the love. See those hearts go floating across there. What fun. So at $497, this is practically being given to you. I've spent many hundreds of hours putting this program together in the last 2 years. I even got called a grandma geek. Well, now, get away from the computer. Well, I do have the computer here in front of me, but I love sharing, reaching out into the community. And if you want to be a part of your Better Living Coach community, don't delay. We've started this week. The welcome packets have already gone out. Thank you so much to all of you who are sitting out there on the sidelines. I'd love to include you in on the program. It's not too late. You can still come in. I have kept if you received an email from me this week, I was saying that the price was going to go up, but not this time. I'm going to keep it at $4.97 instead of the regular price of $12.97, because that's what most programs out there are going for, and more, with the content that you're going to be receiving and the time that I have that I'll be able to, and I'm so excited about it. Every time I talk to one of you that is in the program, hi, I just get goosebumps, because it is so empowering to work with you, to bring you to feeling better and see that ripple effect in your family even. So if you're not sure and you have some questions to ask, I'd be more than happy to answer them. But if you are sure, don't wait. Jump in, because next week it'll be too late. And the next time that this program goes live, it will be at $1,297. Right now it's $497. So it's a one-time payment by PayPal or email transfer. If you are in Canada, if you are international, then it will need to be through PayPal. So go to my link at the bottom, and thank you for being here with me. I didn't cook today. The flu bug is trying to get me good. So thank you for, again, being here and sharing the hearts and the thumbs up. And if there are any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Connect with me here on Facebook, or go to www.yourbetterlivingcoach.com. Bye now. And for heaven's sakes, be creative.